Sir, the stage is all yours.
Yeah, okay. Let me first welcome all of you. I will just add on a few things which Shubham has not really joined on his this thing. Please go on putting your questions on the chat box in any case. And if Shubham feels that there is something which he needs to take it up immediately rather than take it at a later stage, he will bring in the question and I can answer it online while I'm going through the presentation. And let me just start with a few quotes, which I think all of you engineers who are just going to come out of college and start working should feel about yourself. It says, do not compare yourself with anyone else. That would actually be insulting yourself, as you are unique. You want to do anything in life, dream about it, decide to do it, don't stop before it's done. These are the 4 Ds which are very, very important in life. Take it forward and you will end up being successful. A very important aspect is pride. Anything that you do, you should be proud of yourself. Don't ever confuse pride with vanity. Vanity may not be good, pride is most important for you. And automatically it comes, do not stop until you are proud of your work. And the last item which I would say is you can only change yourself. Do not blame the rest of the world for your failures. If you want to be successful, you have to change yourself and be successful. I just like to introduce myself. My name already Shubham has said, but Shubham made a small error. He called me an electrical engineer, but I am actually a mechanical engineer. That's what my degree says. And I became an electrical engineer, or rather I picked up electrical engineering and did a lot of area of electrical engineering after I started in this HVAC field, because electrical engineering is one of the most important aspects of HVAC work. And that is why I believe Shubham is confused. He calls me an electrical engineer because I talk a lot of electrical engineering rather than mechanical engineering. So why electrical engineers for HVAC and R? That is the question I guess all of you must be thinking in terms of, and that is what I am going to touch more on today. Why should you have knowledge on electricals? Any problem that you have or any works which goes wrong with air conditioning problems is 70% because of electricals, 15% is because of dirtiness, pollution, etc. and 15% only is mechanical. So the major chunk for the working of any AC system is electrical engineering, and that is where it is most important that electrical engineering be, and electrical engineers should be there in the HVAC. Some of the myths. HVACR is a subject under mechanical engineering. Yes, it is taught under mechanical engineering. But the myths are electrical engineers have no role. This is absolutely false. HVACR is nothing but thermodynamics. That is also false. electricals play a major role in HVACR. That's very true. In fact, all government departments handling HVACR installations are always put under the electrical divisions rather than the mechanical division. So this is a very, very important aspect of HVACR, which should be known to all. Some of the questions which Somajit put on me, he said, why should I, an electrical engineer, join ISHRE? What value additions do I get? What can ISHRE/ASHRE teach, which I do not learn in college textbooks? What practical knowledge can I expect to gain from ISHRE or ASHRE, which would help me in future? What skills can I gain by being a member? What career opportunities exist in HVAC&R field? How does my membership help make me ready for those opportunities? Let me take it the other way around. HVAC&R is a field which is practically growing at anything between 20 to 25% CAGR year on year. Every year, a minimum increase in the market size of HVACR is 20%. No other field except maybe IT is increasing at that a percentage, and hence HVACR field is a very, very important field for anybody to look at great opportunities to grow. And that is where I would put as the bottom point, which is most important. As an electrical engineer, why should you join? I just told you electrical engineers are most important for HVACR, and mostly it is electrical engineers who are preferred when we start selecting engineers for our jobs, various positions. What value additions do you get? You will learn HVACR, you will have networking, you will be able to meet different people, you will get to have national as well as international experts giving you knowledge insemination. ISHRE, ASHRE can teach you a lot of things which college textbooks cannot. I did my mechanical engineering, I passed out. I joined Blue Star Limited, and I spent 3 months of my first joining period into books and jobs and studying case studies of all the jobs which are going on in Blue Star to be able to even understand a little bit about HVACR. The practical knowledge which you can expect to gain from ISHRE and ASHRE, and which would help you in future, is huge, huge. Because we're talking about ISHRE having a membership of something around 15,000 members, all professionals working in the field all over India, and certain places, other places like Bangladesh, Nepal, Sri Lanka, and all their experience and expertise is put together and is going to be put on the platter for anybody and everybody who's a member to be able to acquire and take advantage of. Skills similarly is by experience, of people which will be rubbed on to you, because they will be putting up their skills in front of you. I have spent 45 years in this field of HVAC&R, and I am today operating my own company. after working in Blue Star for 15 years. We'll be using, I don't know how many of you are aware of the short forms, which we are very, very comfortable using, which we keep using, is ASHRAE, which is the American Society of Heating, Refrigerating and Air Conditioning Engineers. This has got its head office in Atlanta, USA. ISHRAE is the Indian Society of Heating, Refrigerating and Air Conditioning Engineers, which has its head office at Delhi, India. ASHRAE has a membership of 54,000 odd members all over the world. ISHRAE has around 15,000 members all over India and Bangladesh, Nepal, and Sri Lanka. And so you can imagine what is the type of professional experience which exists in both these societies. Both these societies have student chapters, and the basic concept of these student chapters is to encourage, assist, and educate the student members and other interested persons in the said sciences through lectures, demonstrations, and publications. Both these societies encourage scientific research in colleges by giving grants to students or to the faculty to do research and come out with something which is usable in the industry. The societies organize and hold technical seminars, training programs, conferences, etc. in furtherance of all or any of the objects in the field of air conditioning, heating, refrigerating, ventilation, humidification, electrical engineering, solar energy, building automation, and other sciences to the HVACR industry. To give the students an exposure and experience in developing the following soft skills like leadership, management, teamwork, organization, networking skills, and et al. This is one area which we actually believe in and which we keep doing. And one of the major points in both these societies are that number one, they are only individual members. There are no corporate members. So there is no sort of a manipulation of the society towards any advantage for any particular organization. Number two is in every position of organizational leadership is governed by one simple thing, which says the chair seeks the individual cannot seek the chair. This is an aspect which is very, very important and which is followed very rigorously in both the societies. The societies promote high ethical standards in trade, business, profession, vocation, and occupation. The societies are also involved in establishing and putting forth standards to be followed for different types of works being done in the fields, establishing or maintaining or contributing towards cost of the buildings for any purpose connected with the promotion of related sciences of HVAC&R, along with other build services which are electrical and solar energy, renewable energy, how to reduce carbon footprints, the entire gamut of engineering involved with these areas. To accept any donations and contributions as per society guidelines from any person, firm, company, institution, or government on such purpose and objectives as enumerated above. We do have a lot of joint programs with the government to establish standards which is being accepted and being put forth as codes by the government to ensure good quality equipment and materials are provided to the consumers. We do coordinate our activities with many other associations all over the world who have similar objects or are parallel to the society. ASHRAE and ISHRAE are such two organizations. Both organizations coordinate with each other and cooperate with each other to have supporting arrangements as well as support each other on technical areas. I will not go into details of how a student chapter is to be chartered. Minimum of 20 students are required. The student along with one faculty member has to apply, and based on that, the society at its board meeting clears it, and every year then we have activities carried out by the student chapters. Anyone can log on to ishre.in or ashre.org and select to become a member. They can just fill up the form, upload it directly. Details are all there in the form, and make the payment and get an acknowledgement of membership without having to go through any of the chapters or student chapters. You can attach yourself with any other college chapter to get all the details and their invitations for every other society event that they have. That way, you will not, even if you do not have 20 student members in your college, you can always have a student chapter. So you can just log in to student chapters at membership. Student fees is 550 rupees per year. Tenure is 1st April to 31st March with a 90 days window to be able to renew, or alternatively, if it lapses, then you'll have to become a member all over again. The membership will allow you to have a password and access the website and read the journals plus other items which are put up for access by members from time to time. What are the student activities that are held? Industry project visits, technical talks, student day activities, participation events, workshops, where we from the society go across to the various student chapters and present technical items, technical talks, and explain basic and other refrigeration and air conditioning details on a very, very regular basis. The things which are available is a ISHRAE student project grant. You can take up a project, put up the project for funding, and ISHRAE, if they find that the project is worth funding and would grant the fund, and accordingly the research can be done by the student. We have a national HVAC design competition. We have a quiz participation, which is a national level, which is held in different regions, and then finally the team which gets selected goes across at the national level, and there they fight for the honors and are crowned as a student quiz team winners. We have global student poster competitions. We have world student competitions. We also have a lot of other competitions which, if we keep coming and keep posting every now and then, which can be participated by all the students. The world student competition which we have for the students, we have a jury which makes the final decision on the design, the relevance and technical feasibility of the topic, clear statement of the objective of the work, the adequacy of the used methods, the validity and reliability of achieved results, the innovative character of the work carried out, the accuracy of the explanation of the work in written material and in oral presentation, the graphical quality of the summary and the presentation, the candidate's ability to argue during the discussion, the scientific content and the graphical quality of the poster. The finals, one student from each country with the winning entry goes across. The finals are held at USA, Canada, through ASHRAE Europe, through REWA in Europe, Japan through SHASE, Korea through their society which is SAREC, China through CCH AVAC, India of course through ISHRAE, and some other countries with which we continuously upgrade our agreements. The jury members are always taken from all these societies: ASHRAE, ISHRAE, REWA, which is the European Society, SHASE, which is the Japanese Society, SAREC, which is the Korean Society, and the Chinese Society. For any further details, you can visit www.ishrae.in and go through the student program details, and you will get a lot of information there. ASHRAE, again, we have talked about the technical resources are available from the world's largest library of HVACR related technical information. Members can get the ASHRAE journal, the HPB magazine, the ASHRAE handbook for members and associate grade members. The ASHRAE technology portal is accessible by the member, where they have technical articles and journal articles which they can go through. The science and technology for the built environment is all available at ASHRAE. Discounts in the bookstore is available. Building of the EQ portal and the standard 90.1 portal is there, where everybody can access information as well as put in their own point of view, which is again considered by the society technical group which is there. And if the point is found to be good, it gets incorporated in the standard. For this details, you may visit join.ashrae.org. What other areas you can gain on? You grow your professional network. You grow your network at the local, regional, and international level, both in person and online. ASHRAE has 187 chapters within 15 regions, which keep members connected at the local level through meetings and events. ISHRAE has 43 chapters all over India, which again goes through the similar process but most of the travel is between India. Whereas in ASHRAE, you have access to the entire world. Society conferences and chapter regional conferences provide networking and unparalleled learning opportunities. All these conferences and chapter regional conferences are done by both the societies, and both the societies put it up to their members to be able to access that at concessional rates and be able to learn out of these. ASHRAE, of course, allows you to have connect with members across the globe. What do you gain out of this? You develop personally and professionally with continuing education, certification, and leadership programs. ASHRAE Learning Institute and E-Learning, ISHRAE Institute of Excellence, Young Engineers in ASHRAE Leadership Programs, ASHRAE Jobs, certifications, free PDHs from the annual webcast. One of the news I'll give you is in Sri Lanka, in Colombo, there's this lady who became a student member while she was in college. From there, she joined HVACR industry, joined the ASHRAE Sri Lanka chapter, and today, in fact, about 3 days back, she has been sworn in as the president of the Sri Lanka chapter. So that is where this can take you. Both ASHRAE and ISHRAE can really do wonders for your professional learning. For details on ASHRAE, you have to just log on to ashrae.org. So what I would say is stay informed, get involved, and do well. Then I'll now open up for the question and answer session, as I have only this much in the presentation.
Thank you, sir. I have opened the house for question answers. So people can unmute themselves, participants can unmute themselves and ask their questions. Let us have an open house on this. So please shoot. There aren't any questions on the chat box. I believe since the presentation was so crystal clear, there hasn't been any questions. So we can.
If there are no questions, then that means nothing has been understood. If things have been understood, there has to be questions.
Yeah, now, as you say, so there's a question which has come across.
Okay, fine. I think that's better.
The question is from Isha Kumari. How can I join HVAC&R industry?
See, like I said, HVAC&R industry is a very, very fast growing industry. On both ISHRAE as well, particularly on ISHRAE, what we have is a job junction program. For any student member, he or she can just register on the ISHRAE Job Junction program, where different companies from India come across and sit together separately, one by one, take interviews from that list of people who have gone through the ISHRAE learning programs or ISHRAE student chapter programs, having attended some of the things, which they believe and they do understand that yes, these people have gone through a student chapter, means they have picked up a lot of HVAC and our knowledge, and they would be good for their company. So they do come across and pick up people from the job junction. This is one thing which I missed out on this, which is also there, that there is a job junction which is held by ISHRE every year.
Okay, thank you, sir. The next question is from Mr. Prithviraj Rahane. How to become an energy auditor in HVAC field?
For energy auditor, there is a examination held by the government which has to be passed for there is a training program held by them. On that basis, then you have to sit for the exam and you get certified as an energy auditor. So if you want to go through that, there is a process which you can go through. But an aspect of energy audit, the most important aspect is HVAC&R is the highest energy guzzler in all buildings as well as industries. So with that energy guzzler, the better knowledge that you have of that, the better you are as an energy auditor.
Okay. So next question is from Mr. Ronak Roy. What are the various roles for us, like we are upcoming electrical engineers in HVAC&R?
See, or the aspect which, like I just put it, electrical engineers have to learn thermodynamics and understand thermodynamics to be able to be good in HVAC&R. When we started off, and I started off as a mechanical engineer, I had to sit down and learn electrical engineering to be able to do good in HVAC&R. Now, with thermodynamic experience, also there's a lot much more to learn when you join an industry or before you join an industry of HVAC&R. What we try to do under the student chapter program that we have in ISHRE, ASHRE, is that we try and groom you into a knowledge base as far as thermodynamics is concerned, as far as electrical is concerned, which areas of electrical engineering is required in HVAC&R. And like I showed you, 70% of our requirement of handling HVAC&R systems is on electricals.
Right, sir. Next question is, when is the job junction will be organized? Let me answer that question for you, sir.
Yeah, please.
Mr. Sanjay Chakravarti, the question is from you. First of all, the job junction will be organized only when if you are a member. If you're not a member, unfortunately, no, we are not allowing non-members to be in a job junction. And I don't know which college are you from. So you can just get into the membership. You can connect to your college ISHRE chapter president, student chapter president there. And you can connect with that person and get enrolled in ISHRE as a volunteer. And then you'll get all the details about the job junction. Thank you.
I would like to add,
Yeah.
there is an option to become a member, even if you do not have a student chapter, and you can get attached to any particular student chapter in any college close to you and be a part of the programs which are held with that.
Definitely, sir. So you can log on to the ISHRE.in website as well as ISHRE.in. You can have a lot of details there. Okay, so Mr. Gaurav Kumar has got the next question, sir. This question is for you. How can you tell about the government jobs in HVAC&R?
See, government jobs, any of the construction agencies, you have NTPC, you have EIL, you have CPWD, you have PWD, you have public sector undertakings are there, Indian Oil, Oil India. Every one of these industries have very, very large installations of HVAC&R, and they have very regular requirements of HVAC&R engineers. So they go on recruiting on a regular basis.
Right, sir.
That's answer your question.
Definitely, there are a lot of options. There's no doubt about it. The next question is from Mr. Hadiga Nishat. I'm sorry, Hatika Nishat. So the question is a long question, but the question is very simple. Good evening, sir. I would like to ask that as most of the technical talks are mechanical or aligned, so it becomes a little difficult for the electrical students to catch up. So can there be any specific topics for electrical students to explore in this domain?
Okay, fine. Here, there is one thing here. That is one of the reasons why we do have an interactive session with you all, is that in case there is any specific topic that you want, individually or as a group you request for, we will sort of prepare our presentation, we will prepare our topic to suit your requirement. So if you say that as an electrical engineering student, I do have a problem in catching up, yes, I agree. Because the basics of thermodynamics, unless you really know, you will not be able to catch up to the HVACR requirements or the refrigeration requirements. However, we do have courses, very, very basic courses on thermodynamics meant for students which are electrical engineering students. And we do hold such programs in the colleges where there are a few electrical engineering students who would like, who are student members and who are going to be present for that program. So we do touch on it. We do have programs. We do have presentations already prepared and ready. So in case it is required, it can be presented anywhere, anytime.
Thank you, sir. Next question is from Mr. Sanna Mandal. Though the question is related to mechanical engineer, so this is out of the purview of this presentation, so I would not ask the question.
No, go ahead. I think, just do that.
Yeah, she wants to know what kind of jobs are there as a mechanical engineer.
Very much there. I'm a mechanical engineer. I've been working in this field for 45 years. I started work 15 years in a company, then started on my own. I'm doing consultancy. I'm doing design build of jobs and so on and so forth. So many of the work which we are doing, it's actually extremely challenging, extremely enjoyable. Okay, fine. Let me just give you an experience of mine. When I got the job in Blue Star, I joined Blue Star. And I had, before joining Blue Star, I had said, this place, I will not spend more than 5 years. I'll switch a job. But the subject sort of became so interesting for me. Every job that you design, every work that you do has some unique requirement for which you really need to put your mind to it. And every time something got completed, you do a design, it gets completed within a period of 6 months, 8 months, 1 year. And then you feel the satisfaction of having seen yours for yourself, what you have designed. It's such a satisfying experience that I ended up spending 45 years in the field today. So I suppose that should explain your question.
The next question from Mr. Ronak Roy. Is there any dedicated event for electrical students so that one could get motivated as maximum is for mechanical students? Okay.
No, see, like I told you, we have specific programs for electrical students. So let us take a situation that there are 15 electrical students, electrical engineering students who are sitting in for a program, and there are 5 mechanical engineering students along with them. We would take the program through the very, very basics of thermodynamics and program it out for the electrical engineering students. But yes, I agree, at times what happens is, if 19 people are, let us say, mechanical engineering students and 1 person is an electrical engineering student, I would suggest that he come out earlier itself so that he can be given some material to brush himself up before he sits for that program. You got to do a bit of planning by yourself, because for us, it becomes very tough to understand, because till the last minute, we do not know how many students who are going to be sitting there. So I would, anytime as one of the, lecturers, what we call as the, from ISHRE and ASHRE, the DLs, distinguished lecturers, I would any day want, and I keep asking for it, but I never get it on time, is a list and the requirement, or rather the level or what a person's knowledge level is, who's sitting for the program, so that I can program my presentation according to the requirement. But it does so happen that at times I've had an occasion where I've gone for a presentation, where I've gone with a particular presentation, and the people have said, no, we don't understand this area, we have not followed this area. I go back to some other presentation and I've started with that presentation before going through my presentation. So it's a matter of being knowing beforehand, and it can definitely always be programmed for your requirements. Yeah, Shobha.
Right, sir. The next question is related to.
In this regard, Shumit sir, sorry to interrupt. In
Okay.
this regard, I would like to address the students on a single note. We will be planning, because we have started this initiative with the electrical students last year itself, but unfortunately we could not get in touch with you guys. But this year we are specifically targeting the electrical engineering students in each and every chapter, because you guys have joined from various colleges. So we will be in touch with you for in the subsequent days for creation of a chapter under electrical engineering domain. And from there, what we are doing for a mechanical engineering student, like we are listing out a list of topics that you guys want a presentation on. We can select the speakers according to those topics, so you guys can relate to each and every topic which is being presented to you, and it will help you further in your academic career after the HVAC, which Deepak Verma sir said. So Deepak Verma sir himself will be giving you some presentations as per the topics which he will be providing. So we have plans for that. We will be in touch with you, and you guys don't need to feel any difference from the mechanical engineers, because all of you are in the same boat, actually, what I can say. So electrical engineering students will get a maximum participation from now on, because we will be focusing our attention to you guys also, and it will be helping further in the days to come. Yes, sir. Shuman sir, you can.
Right. Thank you, Arko. Definitely, we are looking for. We already have some programs. We did some BMS programs, right, with building management.
Yes, sir.
Program.
Yes.
So
yes.
there's one question which is the Deepak sir, there's a question which is related to project funding. I'll just ask the question. Like just 2-3 people have asked the same type of question. It's like mechanical students, ISHRE conducts ISPG. Is there any for people in electrical domain? Project funding.
See, project funding, what we do is basically for HVAC and our areas, for the simple reason that that is where our domain is, the HVACR domain. There's no restriction anyway between an electrical engineering student or a mechanical engineering student as far as the project funding is concerned. If as an electrical engineer you want to do a project, say maybe in how an energy can be saved for a particular system, for which probably you will need to study a bit on the other side also, the mechanical side of it, to be able to understand the project and do a great job on it, there is no reason why ISHRE would not go for funding that or that sort of a program. So it is basically to do with HVAC&R industry or other related sciences areas where you do your project. You could be an electrical engineer, you could be a mechanical engineer, you could be a physics student. It doesn't really matter as long as it's going to be beneficial to the industry at large. That's most important.
Right, sir. There's a question from Mr. Ronak Roy. I'll answer that on behalf of the speaker. Is it reliable to choose HVAC after graduation? I think Mr. Deepak Verma has shared in his entire presentation, and we also believe that there are a whole lot of opportunities right in front of you in HVAC and R. So definitely it's a very important field to get into and a lot of growth prospects. So it's definitely reliable. Okay.
Let me just add on to that. Let me also tell you, none of the engineering courses, whether it's mechanical, electrical, or any other course, really would be sort of making you ready 100% for a job in the HVAC field. There would be a requirement of a lot of learning on the job, and a lot of on the job training is done by people, by each company, to ensure that you pick up the HVAC area. But I would only suggest one thing, that please don't jump at a job because it's paying 200 rupees more. Pick up a job or go for a field which is something you would like, you would love, you would be very passionate about, because that is going to be something which will last you the lifetime. So look at it that way. Look for fields, get into it. HVAC is one such field. I got into it and I sort of fell in love with it. I stayed on with it. It's not necessary that individually any one particularly of you would be doing that. You may or may not like it, but that you do as an assessment at this stage. Do it, go after it, get a job in that area and do fantastically well in that area.
Right, sir. That
Okay,
was
sir.
very motivating. There's one question from Mr. Biswajit Saran. The question is a little long, but I will just rephrase it. He's asking, sir, thermodynamics is a core branch paper for mechanical students, not for electricals. Then why does a PSU or a government sector select EEE electricals, EEE students in HVACR for jobs?
I think I did answer that question, because 70% of the problems which crop up for an HVAC job is on electrical grounds, and which is a fact. PSUs generally have a maintenance requirement, which obviously the electrical side for them is much more important. So what they do take electrical engineers and then groom them on the other side, which is the thermodynamic side or the mechanical side, and get them to handle the HVAC areas of their requirement.
Right, sir. There's one question from Mr. Sanjay Chakravarti. He wants to know, where can he get the project ideas and research papers to grow the knowledge for HVAC?
Become a member of ISHRE and ASHRE. You will have access to all the project papers, all the research papers. You will have all sorts of experiences. You will be able to correspond with people doing different research at different parts of the world. Just become a member, because membership in both these places is cost-wise peanuts. So as a student, it's really very, very good for you to get into it and develop your contacts at different parts of the world. Possibly you could, interact with somebody who would be going in for research sitting in USA, and he would want you there. He becomes a professor or something, he'll pull you there. So it's all a matter of how it falls in for you, but how well you get into it yourself. Opportunity exists by way of ISHRE and ASHRE. ISHRE, ASHRE can only put the opportunity in front of you. But
Right.
they cannot push the opportunity down you to make sure that you do it.
Correct. Next question is from Mr. Amarjit Kumar Sharma. I could answer this. Is any chapter for students of electrical engineering like ISHRE chapter? Mr. Amarjit, we have student chapters of colleges wherein the different fields which are being studied, electrical, mechanical, those all come under the umbrella of the student chapter as a college chapter. I can give you a glaring example. IEM Kolkata, Institute of Engineering and Management, they have student chapters under the Kolkata chapter banner, and they have a whole lot of mechanical as well as electronics as electrical budding engineers who are going to be engineers who are studying engineering now. They are all part of that student chapter. So we do not distinguish separately on the field of study. We have a chapter, and then that basis we have members which can be of any field. Sir, Deepak sir, the next question is regarding a very specific, there's a person called Mr. Kunal wants to know if there is specific skills that we need to develop to do great in HVAC.
Okay, now this is where I would like to sort of ask a question and give an answer. What do you think you learnt in engineering? To my mind, I learned very simple, straightforward, in one word, logic. Everything that works has to have a logic behind it. If the logic says this cannot work, it will not work. So if you can have a logic, if there is a logic, that is what engineering is all about. And thereafter, what you do in engineering is not designing something which is 100% safe or 200% safety factors on it. Engineering is where you optimize a design to match or suit your requirement at the most economical cost. So basic requirement of engineering is this. The third thing, which probably all of you know, you need to know where you can find the formula to be able to apply, to be able to get the answer. All formulae you need not keep in your head. You need to know which formula is available where. With these factors in mind, the two questions which are there is, for anything, why and why not? Why do you say this will work? Why will not this work? So between this and that, you will have to figure out the why. The moment you know the why, you have the answer and you can excel. So engineering wise, it's not electrical engineering or mechanical engineering. What you have learned in electrical engineering is, again, which book gives you what details. Same thing in mechanical engineering or in thermodynamics or any other way. You learn to know where you pick up what stuff. If a designing has to be done, that's what is very, very interesting about HVAC is, when you do an HVAC job or you're doing a design, you're doing the thermodynamics of it, you're doing the mechanical strength area of it, you're doing the electrical area of it, you're doing the controls area of it, you're doing logic areas of that. So the entire gamut of engineering is there. You do vibration areas of engineering. So, and at times you will refer to the books, you will keep doing it to be able to do a design of a system, which you will enjoy doing and completing, and thereafter seeing the results of your hard work at working point. That is how I put engineering. I don't, quite frankly, if you ask me strength of materials, the formula which was there when I learned in college, I don't know, I don't remember. But I do know where to find them and how to apply them. Similarly, on electrical engineering, which I learned post my college days, on the work, I know where to find what formula. I know, and in fact, electrical engineering, according to me, is one of the easier because it's the most logical area of engineering than the others. Anyway, yeah. Okay, Somajit.
Thank
I
you,
hope
sir.
that answers your question. Yeah.
Definitely, sir. Thank you, sir. There are no more questions now. I think people have had a very good experience of this knowledge sharing, and I'm sure a lot of queries have been cleared, and we are getting thank yous on the chat box already. So it's my pleasure to have you, sir, and definitely. Oh, there's one more question. Oops, as I was about to end. So, which way is better for? Oh, sorry. The question is slightly off track from
No,
Mr.
it's
Vishwat.
perfectly in track. Yeah, go ahead. Nothing is off track for us.
Which way is better for electrical students to join PSU, through GATE exam or ISRE chapter?
Okay, now matter is, ISRE chapter is going to help you do well in GATE. Okay, so if you're talking about whether GATE is better or ISRE is better, both are areas. GATE GATE is an exam level and ISHRE is a learning level. ISHRE is not an exam level for you. So what ISHRE will do or what ASHRE will do for you is teach you or make you learn something, or rather help you learn. I won't say make you learn, because nobody can make anybody learn anything. We can only help you learn so that you do well in GATE and be able to get through and get into your job which you want to get into and do well in your life.
Right, sir. Right, sir.
Okay.
There's a question also, one more. What is the scope of mechatronics engineers?
No, what is mechanical electronics?
Engineers.
Now, see, point is, today every engineer worth his salt has to know a lot of electronics. Okay, you cannot survive in today's world without an idea of electronics. We came out of college. We were not allowed to use a calculator, by the way, in college. I don't know whether you people have heard of slide rule and whether you have heard of a log table. We used to use that for our calculations, large calculations. We learned calculators once we came out. We learned everything after we passed out. The first time when computers were brought into Blue Star, I was asked to take charge of the computers. And those used to lie in a particular room without anybody going and touching except me going and doing it. Then I started pushing people into it. Go and do it, let me see. No, if it gets spoiled, I'll get a firing, there's that. So I pushed them. And finally, when they got into that act and they started learning computers, that's when they became more comfortable with it and they started doing it. So it's a matter of how much of a pushing that you're going to do yourself is what is going to decide how much you're going to learn out of these things. It's not, I can push you to learn, or maybe we can only provide you the opportunity. It's you who has to learn. And that's why when I said if there's no questions, means somewhere along the line, my talk has gone down the drain. I love these questions because you have now come to a point where you have started to think how you can utilize it. And that's exactly what my idea was to get you to do. Okay, Shomajit.
Sir, thank you. Orko, now I think there are no more questions now. So if you could just unmute and
yeah, I would like to take this opportunity of thanking everybody, and quite frankly, thanks a lot, all of you students, for the questions. I love the questions. I hope I've been able to answer them. If there's anything, my presentation had my email ID. You could anytime send me a mail. I'll reply to it definitely. Thank you.
Thank you, Deepak sir. Thank you, Shomajit sir, for this awesome presentation. I hope each and every student has got a vast amount of knowledge and what they can do after their BTech career by joining through ISHRE. And for the students, I have only one thing. This is just a start. And we will be, as I said before, we will be focusing on you guys from now on. As Shomajit sir said, each of your colleges has a student chapter. You will be under that chapter banner only. And we shall move. We shall be in touch with you in the subsequent maybe 1 week of time for the various electrical domain subjects which we can give webinars on. Since we are all doing webinars as on date, so don't be disheartened. And please, as sir said, kindly do the membership because there are a lot of events. As such, ISTG is open to all. It is not defined by mechanical or electricals who can be participants in that particular event. But for participating in it, you need to be a member in ISHRE. So please get your membership done by this month. And we will be in touch with you for many further events for electrical engineering students. And you will, I'm sure you will be motivated in the days to come in your career field. So with that, I would like to again thank Deepak Verma sir and Shomajit sir for this wonderful presentation and taking the time out of your busy schedule. And thank you all.
Thank you, Orko.
thank you, sir. So this will close the presentation.